What's up, everybody? We're here with Scott Strichart, who isn't a voice actor per se, but he's sort of like a lord. He's like
fraud. Don't believe this guy.
He's like a deity that lords over voice actors. So
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, so part of the voice actor lunch, we have a surprise guest coming. Actually, I'm going to put the name on the video, so it's not going to be a surprise. Keiji's going to be joining us in a bit here, but we are settling a well, it's an experiment, really. We've had something going about Panda Express for years now.
Do you remember how it started?
No.
I guess we'll have to explain that at some point.
How did it start? You tell me.
All right. We just finished recording, and you were on your high horse about some authentic Szechuan cuisine.
That sounds right.
And I said something to the effect that my familiarity ends with the very authentic Panda Express. And
I imagine I was aghast at
You were
this.
incensed. You were absolutely incensed. You said, Scott, at the time I had like 10,000 Twitter followers back when Twitter was fun. And you're like, you need to post online that you were at Panda Express and be shamed. So I went to Panda Express and I said, here at Greg Chun's recommendation, I'm trying to get some authentic Chinese experience.
Then I had to defend myself, of course, because of that falsehood, that fake news that Scott put out there. And so the whole thing continued. I think I sent Scott maybe a gift card for his birthday to Panda Express. And I have not eaten Panda Express since this all started. I can't even remember the last time I ate Panda Express before this started.
KG had my back. He's like very authentic.
Yes, he did. He did. Which was very upsetting for me. And so now I'm finally back to give Panda Express another chance. It's not that I had a problem with the way Panda Express necessarily tasted. Like, I'm aware if you go to Panda Express, it's like going to what do you call it? What's like a silly burrito place? What's like a silly?
Is there?
Well, like
Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell. You know what you're getting, right? It's obvious. You know what you're getting, and so I'm going in here knowing what I'm getting. Okay, obviously it's not going to be this or that or whatever, but I'm going to give it a chance. Now,
it's going to be very authentic.
So let's stop talking. Let's just steer clear of any conversation about authenticity, okay? And this will go much better. So, oh, by the way, these people here with the red car, they park in the electric car charging spot, but they're not charging their car.
That's illegal.
It is. I'm tempted to call the cops on them because I cannot charge my car, and I want to because I have a big long drive after this.
Sorry.
It's all right. What could have sounded more California first world problems than complaining about not being able to plug in my electric car? Okay, I'm sorry. That's awful. I'm not that person. Okay, maybe I am. Anyway, the point is, I think this is going to be fine. Like I remember there's a certain guilty pleasure to the taste of Panda Express when it's just what it does to me later. That's the real test. As to whether that has gotten worse over time.
You need to put a little append on the video.
Yeah.
Give it the 24-hour look.
That's right. Yeah, there will be an update. There will definitely be an update. So we're going to order, and we'll be back. We need to adjust the angle because Marcy's joined us as well. So.
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Scratch that. Who are these guys?
Decent.
Oh my gosh. Kate and Marcy wants to Marcy too. Yes. Sadly, Marcy isn't staying, but yeah. KJ has arrived, so the party can begin. Let's go order. All right. It begins.
We're here. It starts.
Now, for some reason, I got 3 items, but I'm the only one that got like an overflow container. So.
Well, hold on. I got the 2 spring rolls too. I feel like that counts as like a third item, right?
Okay.
You got your 2 entrees. You got your choice of side, and then you got your spring rolls.
We all have the cookie.
I was not doing an apple sprinkle. Just to make it.
Scott, do you have a cookie too?
Did he not give you a cookie?
Bro, you are fortuneless.
That's terrible.
You're literally the only person I've ever seen leave a Panda Express without a cookie.
No, at least like 3 more. Yeah.
So you can have mine.
Can we split it?
Yeah, we can split it, but there's only 1 fortune in here. So.
That brings
You starting with the fortune?
Oh no, you got it.
You can't start with the fortune cookie.
He didn't have one. I wanted him to have one. Okay, just don't read it yet. Just don't read it. Put it there.
This is off to a terrible start. Everything is being done incorrectly.
Okay, KG's the expert.
Look, as long as
It's true.
as long as you don't consume the cookie until after the meal, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Now, let's make note. Another one of Scott's taunts that I suffered before I came here was him implying that I was not going to comb my hair before I came. So check this
I was
out.
gonna say your hair is like super combed.
I'm
like,
super coiffed, all right? So
I've never seen his hair like this, to be honest. Like, Greg has always appeared to me as one of those like anime protagonists with the spiky hair coming out the side. You know what I mean?
that's my normal vibe. Yes.
Yeah, that's your.
But
That's
I'm not. You know, I will not be.
That's just bedhead.
That's-
He doesn't get to be an anime protagonist.
Oh my god! You know what I forgot? I should probably get a fork.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be right back.
I ended up pivoting. I didn't get the orange. Oh wait, I didn't get the orange chicken.
Oh, that's the classic though. All right, here you go.
So, do we want to tell people how this started? Why we're even?
Yeah, I'd
getting
like to hear your side of that actually.
Yeah, let's have your version because Scott already told his version.
All right. Okay. Well, look. All I know was one day Scott told me that you really loved Panda Express. I'm pretty sure this is how it went.
Yep.
I got there. We were recording for Like a Dragon, and instead of saying hi to me, the first thing he says to me as I walk through the door is, "Greg Chun really likes Panda Express," and I was like, "Well, what an interesting way to start off the day. Tell me more." And then you extolled his love about it, how you said you were going to have it for lunch one day, and Greg's eyes lit up with excitement, right? And like he could barely contain his passion. He drooled a little bit, as I recall you said, right?
This is all coming back.
Yeah. That's exactly how that happened. So
Life's a blur. This is.
So I started tagging Greg whenever because at that point I didn't eat a lot of Panda Express, like almost at all, right? So I would go to a Panda Express for the bit and tag him online for it. And now the joke's on me because I've literally made Panda Express part of like my weekly like bad for me dining experience. Like I used to not eat it at all, and now once a week at least. So the joke's on me, honestly.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's a loss.
Yeah.
Take the L.
Yeah,
I'm taking.
this has all been taken way too far, but it's okay. It's okay.
KG and I were saying that while you were in there, this is the end. This is where the car drives off the cliff.
Yeah, this has to be where the bit dies. But you know what though? Here's the thing about Panda Express, right? May I say, one of the last places in America you can still get a fairly decent sized lunch for $16.24.
True.
You've got a point.
The big old drink, the 2 to 3,
Yeah, they're definitely not skimping on portions.
No,
I
they
thought
absolutely are not.
they put my first thing on there, and we almost filled up the whole thing with it, right? So I was just like, whoa. But then he's like, trust me, it's all right. And he gives me this whole overflow thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you have to be in a certain mindset for Panda Express. I think a certain amount of your day had to have gone not poorly, but like stressful, right? Stressful.
I will say everything tastes really good.
Yeah.
What?
Everything
Tastes really
everything tastes really good, Scott.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna accept that.
But we are
This is on camera. I don't even have to worry about it.
but we already said the real test is going to be how my body copes with it later. All right. So that's just make that clear.
So if you're an American, you are uniquely evolved to handle overly sweet sauces, right? And carbs of all different kinds. We got this.
Oh, by the way, Gage, I told Scott any dead air I'm going to trim out. Any sort of stuff that we talk about that shouldn't be out there on the trim, so don't even worry about it.
And that's how we feel about modern holidays.
Oh yeah, perfect.
We're probably canceled now. I hope that everyone loved them.
Oh, you missed the fist fight that led to that.
Right? Can you tell me why you had an initial distaste of Panda
I
Express?
think what it was, and as Scott told this game, I was on this total like Szechuan kick, like this authentic Szechuan kick. And you go places like Rose Speed or Monterey Park, and you can get real Szechuan, right? So I was excited and happy about this, and I brought it to the session, and I was just sort of telling, oh, have you ever had this? Oh, it's so good, it's my favorite, blah blah blah. And then this guy has the gall to basically just go, yeah, I'm a Panda Express guy, and I was like, you kidding me, man? It just burst my bubble
Wow.
and brought me back down to a base reality that I wasn't ready to live in again.
Yeah, that sounds like a very impassioned reaction to have to this opinion you had about Chinese food.
How you doing today, sir?
It was more than just that. When someone like takes it to that level, and you just need to bring them back down to earth.
Oh, was that what it was? You just had to take the wind out of his sails a little bit.
Exactly.
There he was glowing.
Well, mission accomplished. Congratulations.
He was just glowing with this appreciation, and you're just like, that's a beautiful thing I have to crush.
Yes.
All right.
That was that whole game, just crushing Craig. Making sure that he
Oh,
never.
game. That's been our whole relationship, dude. Oh, by the way, I realized something. None of us are credited on IMDb for judgment or loss judgments. It's only Japanese actors.
Who did that?
I don't know.
Who's in charge? Who I gotta call?
I don't know. I don't know. I may try and submit the update just to see if they sent it or not. But it may be as simple as nobody ever submitted it. Right?
True.
So we'll see what happens.
All right, that's great. So I'm a contact.
Well, my contact is called having an IMDb Pro subscription.
Yeah.
Can I ask a terrible question that I shouldn't be asking this far into my acting career? Is an IMDb Pro worth it? What does it let you do?
What it lets me do is basically just show where the only reason I have it is for the little known for, and there's 4 projects that you can be known for.
Yeah.
It allows me to set those rather than the
So it's your MySpace top 6, but for IMDb.
yeah. There's only 4.
For the people older than 30 watching this.
The deep dive.
Yeah. You see, we used to be able to curate our top 8s, right? And then people will get into fights with you socially about whether or not they were in your, not even in your top 8, but like specifically what position they were in the top 8, right? It's like, why am I only number 3, bro? Like, we've been through so much. I saved your life. Now I'm number 3.
There's somebody in your circle that has saved your life.
Actually, more than one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole other video.
I don't keep in touch with those people. You save my life, you're out.
That's a red line right there.
Yeah, you don't want to be reminded of guilt.
You can't be owing people that much. Right? That's crazy.
I'm sure there are people who put IMDb Pro to better use. I'm just neurotic about those 4 little slots, and that's why I subscribe to it.
Okay. No, that's
MySpace.
valid. Kids, that was a social media site we used to use before Facebook. And before that, LiveJournal, I believe it was.
So, did you have a live journal?
I still have a LiveJournal.
Oh, I killed mine. Looks like once they sold it to Russia.
They sold it to Russia?
You just go back and kill it.
So everything goes. Well, I mean, look, the idea of a bunch of Russians reading my old life is actually really funny. No, I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to make it worse.
How did I miss this? After MySpace Live, wait, LiveJournal was before MySpace? How did I miss this? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just, it's just a journaling service. It's just a blog, basically.
Airing all your personal thoughts to the entire internet.
Yeah, that was before we knew that we were supposed to be like guarded on the internet.
Right.
People just wrote whatever in their live journals.
It used to be fun.
I wrote whatever in my live journals.
Yeah. I wouldn't want that service in there.
Thank God iPhones didn't exist when I was growing up.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
No.
Like our cringy, like super young selves just putting shit on YouTube forever.
But isn't that literally what the kids do now?
Yeah.
And they have to live at that.
Yeah, that's why we're so lucky that we're a certain age at this point, Our terrible past lives can never be uncovered in such a way.
But I think like kids nowadays have have a higher tolerance for seeing themselves in their younger, more sillier days or whatever.
You think so?
Yeah, I probably doesn't bother them as much just because that's all they know.
Hold on. So you have the babies, right? Would you allow? Maybe allow's not the right way. Let's say they go up to you one day and they're like, "Papa Greg, would you allow me to start filming my shenanigans as your young spawn and put it onto the internet for people to just look at forever?"
As long as I have right of refusal, sure.
All right, so you can still be like,
Wait, is right of refusal as in like?
As in, if I look at something, I go, "You got to cut that out."
Oh,
Basically, if I
thought you
give you
meant,
the censor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they just couldn't film you.
All they get is like hands and a camera for me.
Don't blur me out.
But yeah, as long as I can be like, "Look, after you do it, I want to see your edit. Anything that I say you have to do if you want it."
and it's good to have that conversation because later on in life, at least one of those videos they're going to be like super embarrassed about. And they're going to be like, "Dad, what were you thinking letting me do this?" And then you can be like, "Look at this conversation."
We put it on YouTube.
We put it on YouTube. You agreed to it in front of the entire world.
The worst part, I think, would be, yeah, I have 10,000 subscribers. I need to do a video in the kitchen.
That's like a reality now. Like, your kid could legitimately just go up to you and be like, I want to be a professional influencer. Like
It
in my
happens. Literally happens.
in my 41-year-old mind, that is the most horrific thing that my child could possibly say to me.
I want to be an influencer.
That's the most horrific thing I could think for myself. Honestly, I see people, because here's the thing, like, I follow people just like anybody else on Instagram. You watch the content they create. And then there's a strange coincidence, or sometimes I notice patterns where somebody will post about, I'm just blocked creatively, the pressure of being a content creator, blah, blah, blah. So I'll go back and watch their last few videos, and I'm like, yeah, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel there. That's, and then it's sort of like, it doesn't seem as glamorous. When you look at somebody struggling to be relevant, it's just like, that's a slog.
But I mean, isn't that the same for our profession? Like that, the actors go through that exact same kind of slog, right?
Well, in a way, though, but for us, the roles and the lines are provided for us. We don't have to come out of it, up with it out of thin air. Yeah, so if you're
God is here to provide for us.
that's right. Thank God we got Scott.
Thank
right?
God for you.
Yeah, that's the message of this whole thing.
The problem is that bits ends, as we're finding out right now. So you can only post on a bit for so long before it just needs to. You need to like stop doing that. But then people are like, "What happened to the bit? I need more of that bit." And you're like, "I need to do." You know what I mean? Like,
Well, no, I mean, it's not like they're gonna. I doubt people are gonna be demanding we come back to Panda Express after watching this video.
exactly.
Like next time we'll make a tier list while eating Panda Express, like stream a game like eating Panda Express. That's the formula, right?
Maybe I will eat Panda Express on screen. Good idea. See, this is why I like being around other creative people. They think outside the box.
Collaboration
This is
of ideas.
And then maybe that'll become my thing, and then I could be an influencer. Wait a minute,
Panda influencer.
Oh my God.
Sponsored by Panda Express. When's chicken today?
a panfluencer.
Imagine that's how we make our millions. Like, how would you feel about your life, right?
If it involves millions, I'd be fine with it.
honestly, yeah, that's fine. If my millions came from Panda Express, we should buy it. I wouldn't say no.
Oh, by the way, I do have to shout out Panda Express because I noticed that there's now, assuming this is real, there's a check on the wall for Children's Hospital of LA for like $2.2 million that they've donated. I'm like, okay, that's really cool.
That is,
Yeah.
that is right. I didn't even see that.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Good job, Panda Express.
Good job, Panda Express.
I take back everything I've ever said about you.
See, you talk about bits having to die. My favorite joke in the world, and I will tell it to the day I die, I don't think it ever has to die, and that is, hey, Scott, you know what? I don't care what everybody says about you. You're all right. That's my favorite joke to tell in any situation about anybody. See? And now we have another creative soul taking it to the next
Just
level.
like you just asked me about your life.
Wow. That's cold.
Oh, I get it. It's like I don't care what other people say about you.
Oh,
Yeah, implying-
I thought you were just like, yeah, Scott, your life's all right. I thought that's what the message
Oh,
was.
no. The message is everybody else thinks you're terrible, but you know what? You're all right for me.
Okay. All right. How do you feel about that?
That's terrible.
See, that bit never has to die. I mean,
You should.
I'll get eye rolls from my family, but it still brings me immense joy.
Right. In the future, he's like, Scott, I noticed Nanba's not in any of these games.
Why did they kill Namba off?
Why did they kill Namba?
And it was in such a spiteful way, it seemed, just out of nowhere.
His bitch turned on him and it was really gory.
He found his body outside of a Panda Express. That seemed pointed. Let me ask, because I feel like you just started doing the series where you just kind of sit down with folks and like have lunch, right? What made you want to do that?
So, because Squid Game was nominated for a Critics' Choice Award, I got invited to this, and I'm assuming it's because I couldn't get the other Korean actors because they're in Korea. This gifting suite, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So you walk in, and there's all these companies that give you stuff. So one of the things was $1,000 gift card to Ike's sandwiches. Right?
How do we make it to your side of the fence? I'm in the wrong business.
Dude, Squid Game is a once-in-a-lifetime freak occurrence for me. So Isaac Robinson Smith was there as well for X-Men.
Yeah.
And so me and I both got this thing, and like, hey, we should like go and promote Ike's because we both legitimately love Ike's.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, he gave us this generous thing, let's go make a video. So that was the first one, and I was like, it's kind of fun. And it allows me to like see friends outside of work context and everything. Yeah.
That's a fun thing to do. It's like Leno with more, orange chicken.
You gotta get your sound up. I guarantee you, the sound sucks.
Oh, it does. But I do some processing afterwards.
Okay.
Logic has a plugin that's what is it called? I forgot. Anyway, it does a really good job of eliminating background noise and just highlighting the voice.
Okay. All right.
I do want to ask you something.
Oh no.
I already picked Greg's brain about this, but you know how we talked about Greg having kids earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you think? Do you have an opinion on the kids this thing?
Of course I have an opinion.
Don't worry, if you don't want me to share your opinion,
You don't have to share your opinion. If you hate kids,
I don't.
if you just want to beat the, like, just
No. No beating of children.
all right. Scott doesn't want to beat you.
yeah, we need to end the.
The human race, the human cycle.
I was going to say generational trauma, but okay. Wow, that got dark.
We got to ending the human race really fast. We're barely 20 minutes into this video, right?
I will say that sort of the parent experience, there is a unique brand of joy that cannot be achieved otherwise through any other means.
Well, you get to rediscover the world through your child's eyes, basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Yeah, it's pretty.
Shouldn't they get to bury you something?
Someone's gotta.
Someone's got. That's my
Someone's
question.
gotta be.
Having passed on that, I was like, who the fuck is gonna bury me?
That's.
I might not even put me in the right shelf.
I'm gonna be cremated, man. I'm not gonna mess around with Mary.
I used to want to be cremated, then I got freaked out. I read this book about like how death works and like how like the body naturally goes back to the earth, right? And then it like started ringing in my head. It's like, oh, what if when we're cremating ourselves, we're just messing up the next part of the life cycle for us? What if we're supposed to go into the ground and like be a tree and some stuff? You know what I mean?
I was shelf, so I'm not doing it right either way.
So that started to freak me out. I was like, damn.
Wait, where did you read this? Or where did you?
It's a book about what happens after the body after death. It's called Roach. It's by an author by the name of, I believe, Mary Roach, right?
Oh,
And
it's taken out a whole different direction.
yeah. But it's like she did all this research about like the state of bodies and what happens to them after death and how the science works, and I found it like endlessly fascinating. And then at the end of that book, I'm like, oh crap, we are making a huge mistake, burning ourselves afterwards. Like, what if the snails need me? You know what I mean? Like, what if that mushroom really, really needs?
The thing is, I'd much rather be set on fire than be buried alive. And what if, in either scenario, I'm
Well, like,
actually not.
just assume you're not alive in the coffin.
You can't assume that. Didn't you see Kill Bill?
Yeah. Okay. Like,
Double Jeopardy? Holy shit.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, the
Just-
one with the cell phone.
then just 1 inch punch your way out of the castle. That's not that big a deal.
Fine.
Like,
Yeah, I guess I should start training.
That's just get good. That's all.
Why are you making a big thing out of it?
It's the responsibility of all of us to master the 1 inch punch before death, just in case you're trapped in the ground.
Okay, fair enough. Fine.
That's
Fine. Keiju wins this discussion.
that's just obvious.
Are you done?
No,
Then what are you doing?
Katie's done, right?
I however am. I'm very practiced at eating this.
Oh my gosh.
We got two items. You're allowed to have one.
When I say I'm practiced at eating this combination, I mean it. Literally since we've been recording Like a Dragon, this has been the exact same thing.
I'm so glad I could contribute to that.
Right?
Oh my god.
This will be like, I have so many fond memories of that game, but this is the lasting one.
This was my college. This is like when I, between classes, they had a Panda Express on the campus. It was fast. They learned me. They learned the order.
Oh yeah, I bet back then it was like $10 or something.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
easy.
Which was what?
Casablanca Beach.
Oh,
Nice.
What'd you study there?
Creative writing. It's like the deadest end of jobs that I actually got to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it didn't turn out to be that dead. You two can follow your dreams.
Please do.
speaking of which, so I had this idea that maybe I'll put myself out there as a minister who can marry people as Musan.
I've seen you starting to do that.
So-
It's a voice actor trend.
Yeah,
What?
is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What?
yeah, so I would dress up as Muzan. You could fly me out, and for however much, I will marry you at your wedding, right? In Muzan voice the whole time.
I mean,
So, but here's the point.
Okay.
The point of the story is not that I'm crazy.
All right.
It's that I was like, okay, well, I have to become ordained as an minister. So
Yeah.
I went to Universal Life Church.
Yeah.
I submitted like my name and my phone number or something like that. Kid clicked and it said, "You're ordained."
Yep. I got drunk one night in college and I did the exact same thing.
no way.
Yeah, you don't actually have to do anything.
Yep. They just send it to you. You pay a certain amount of money, they send it to you,
Oh my god.
and you're ordained.
Yep. So then it graduates you to the screen where it's like, here's the wedding package. You get a certificate. You get like a little holder for your certificate, and you get a thing to wear on your neck or
Father moves on.
father's on.
Father
We
moves
do
on.
technically we do have to call you something like that, right? Because you are
I
ordained.
guess that's true. Yeah. Let's start
Father
that
Shun.
now. Yeah.
Father Shun.
I like Father Daddy Kibutsuji.
Okay. I don't know what denomination uses daddy, but I believe that it exists. I take your word for it.
Well, whichever denomination does, I want to be that religion.
The granddaddy.
Whenever we has grand as a prefix, I get a little leery.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. We'll say it with the granddaddy. The holy daddy. How about that?
You had to choose one of your characters to be like a minister for hire. Which would it be?
I think Ichiban would be an amazing minister.
I don't know.
Without, right? Like he would be an incredible fucking minister.
Uh-huh.
Like I can only imagine. Like he wouldn't even have like a speech prepared. He would just like wing it. I know these guys. I've drank with these guys.
I had
Like,
one drink with him, and now we're best friends.
we are best friends forever. Let me tell you about the embarrassing things I saw him do.
My favorite line ever from Ichi still remains to this day. That was one time. My stomach really hurt that day. Oh, the first time I saw that, I laughed so hard, dude, and I was just like, "God bless Kaiji Tang."
No, dude, I
That was
think
choice.
it was, but like that scene was so funny because they were at correct me if I'm wrong, they were at like a funeral, right, or something. They were at a funeral for Nanoha. Not Nanoha.
So it was before that.
I thought they were in front of what do you call it? The place.
Yeah, the band.
You know what?
Shangri-La.
I'm
They're in
thinking,
front of
I'm thinking of when Namba sees Saigo for the first time at the funeral.
Oh yeah.
And he's like pretty sexy. And
Oh, yeah.
I remember Ichi's just like, dude,
That was also a good choice.
yeah, I remember it's like, oh, this is okay. They're great friends. Like this is, I love the relationship between these two immediately. Like,
I remember that line. Yeah. Oh, that's sexy. What are you doing, man?
and it's like, oh, this game is magic.
I still have to finish Infinite Wealth. I'm still in the Mahjong part.
You're never leaving the Mahjong, brother. Don't kid yourself.
Well, for me, I've lost my entire life playing that game to that island, the freaking island.
The Donko
The
thing.
Donko, yeah, the Animal Crossing island. Like,
Yeah,
what a fiendish insertion of an entire game into a game.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
that was messed up. Like,
And it's like critical path enough that's like, do this for just a little while.
right.
You don't have to stay.
You don't have to stay if you don't want to make your millions. Yeah, insidious. Like, I literally ended up on that island. I'm like, I'm gonna spend a couple hours here. You know?
So is that meant to be the sort of the business
Yeah.
replacing
Yeah,
the business?
I remember when the CEO like that's and said now you're making a sleazy island for people to come and gamble on.
Anything that's going to make you a ton of money, aka Mahjong, it's hard to walk away from it.
Can I admit something? I don't know how to play Mahjong. I'm the worst.
He didn't either.
I'm the worst Asian guy ever.
Yeah,
Like you were apparently.
dude, I think back on how I used to play, and one of my in Twitch chat, one of my community said something that really encapsulated it. I can't remember who it was. I wish I could because I would give them credit. But they said, "Remember when Greg wouldn't take dragons?" So
I have no context, so that just sounds sinister.
but it's like I would have like a pair of the red dragons. Another one would come up, and I would be like, "Do I want that now?"
I'm guessing it's good to take.
It is a
If you
good
have
move.
dragons,
Okay.
Yeah, in most situations, yes, you should take them
Okay,
unless you're
sorry.
going for like 7 pairs or whatever. But anyway,
You played it as a joke. You literally were on stream and I'm like, I'm just going to go to the Mahjong parlor. And suddenly, 2 years later, there's an actual, like, you could actually hang in a table.
Did you hold your own against like all the old Asian Aussies?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't imagine that
Those
good.
ladies are savage, man.
I know.
They're like,
It'd be interesting to see. That would be a funny video. Oh my god.
You tried to play Mahjong with a whole bunch of Asian
Yeah.
them just raking you over the coals.
It's like when Bobby Fischer went to the Central Park to try and play those guys, and they just like wiped his ass.
You just leave without the shirt on your back.
Fisher.
Yeah. It took me through everything.
Why is that Sardo sign still up when Sardo's has not been there for at least 2 decades?
That does piss me off. Because I used to like Sardos.
I know.
So, like, whenever I see the sign, it makes my brain think that they're still there for half a second. I was like, oh, yeah, that's... Oh.
So sad. Porn star karaoke. I mean,
Right, exactly.
What? I'm not a Burbank native. What's going on here?
Only the most colorful of Burbank's characters made it to Sardos after a certain time.
Oh, I see.
It's beautiful.
there was a night they literally started calling it porn star karaoke. The porn star would show up, I guess.
And do karaoke.
I guess.
Yeah, they got to do karaoke too. You know?
I guess so.
But Little Tokyo's a long ways away.
Oh, Little Tokyo. How glorious.
I love Little Tokyo.
I love Little Tokyo.
I was this close from buying a condo there. And you know, I fantasize about it. It's like I could walk downstairs, get like really good ramen, you know, really good Japanese food, and just go back upstairs and take a nap.
You could also be broke because you spend all your money on food.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's what I would
Takes us back to the glory of Panda Express. Really.
1624. 1624 for lunch.
I broke $20 because I got the premium items.
Do you want an apple egg roll?
I do not. Jeez.
I've not had the apple. Was it the apple pie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not had that yet.
It's probably amazing.
Honestly, you probably be right back. It's apple.
Oh my god.
It's an apple egg roll.
All right. The next time you see Scott, he's going to come back. with an apple egg roll.
3 apple egg rolls left.
Okay.
3 friends.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God! You got. Oh, okay.
They're coated. They're dusted with
Sugar?
cinnamon. Well,
So
something.
authentic Chinese cuisine, right?
This, you know, when I was growing up the mean streets of Shanghai, this was what I would wake up to every morning.
Uh-huh.
These apple pie spring rolls. All right, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. It's a churro,
It's a churro.
but with
Apple pie in it.
apple pie in it.
It's really good.
It's not terrible at all.
No, it's really good.
That makes complete sense.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know this existed until just now. This whole time Scott's been talking about apple egg roll. I'm like, what is he talking about? I'm like, what does that mean?
My eye was drawn to it.
And now, oh, you just saw that for the first time today too?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Maybe it's a new thing.
It's fate. Do I like this better than a regular apple pie?
Do you like it? Well, let's start with, do you like it better than the McDonald's apple pie? Because they're very analogous.
Yes. Yes. I like this better than the McDonald's apple pie. That is 100% true.
Mhm. It's impossible to know if you like this better than actual apple pie without having this white sugar.
Yes.
But I will say, the extra coating of sugar gives it a big leg up.
Oh yeah.
You know, they don't have the extra coating of sugar on a piece of apple pie.
This gonna sound crazy, but out of everything on that menu in there, I think this is the most Chinese tasting thing. No, seriously, like Chinese folks have like hot and crunchy desserts, you know, after meals. This would fit right in to something like that.
Interesting.
So good job, Panda Express.
Thank you, Scott.
The lady asked if you were a podcast. I said, no, he's a YouTube.
Did you say it with that disdain in your voice?
Yeah. And then her smile faded. She's like, oh.
Can you tell him to leave?
Yeah. You know what? This is actually not allowed. Some revolt in 1 hour every day.
A mix of all of this
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't get to the function.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. It's supposed to be.
I spared your shared
You
portion.
do have to eat the cookie.
Okay. Your contributions to your community can be felt near and far.
Hey.
So true.
Shared fortune.
A charitable gift goes a long way. You cheap bastard. That last part's not on there, but that's a subtext I'm hitting. Fine, I will donate more.
Not giving it up, right?
All I do is take from the spoiling. I'll have you know that I'm an LAST subscriber. So,
What does that mean?
oh my god. KPCC,
You don't keep fried chicken.
Okay, you know what? I just,
I thought that's what it was.
You just what KP?
KPCC. Don't you remember? Do you ever listen to radio? Oh my gosh, like NPR, like KPCC. NPR, you know what that is, right?
Yeah, I would listen to him.
I invited the wrong people to lunch today, man.
I'm aware of it.
Public radio. I support public radio.
You know what? I listen to the same one rock and roll channel on my radio, and I've listened to the same channel for 18 years.
What channel is that?
98.7.
Star?
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh, I used to listen to 90.7 all the time.
98.7. Yeah.
But they had like a big shift. They were like more like a softer kind of deal.
Yeah, now they're
Now they're like K-Rock ripoffs.
Well, I mean, they've been for like, I want to say a decade now. They're just like
Just straight pop.
alternative rock.
Oh.
Alternative rock. But really, at this point, they're just playing dad rock, and they just still call it alternative rock as if it were 15 years ago. And that's just
clever.
where my brain is, I guess.
Kind of. So do they play like Journey and Skid Row and Styx and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Now
They'll still play a Linkin Park as if they were new. You know,
huh? I'm intrigued.
you know.
But I listen to public radio. Okay. It's an essential service.
But what were you saying? Well, why were you asking us about?
Because he gives apparently to public.
I
radio.
give.
Oh, you give.
Yes.
Okay. I was like,
I had a whole Streamily signing where half the proceeds went to KPCC, but now it's called LAist.
okay. Right.
Yeah. So
That was
this fortune doesn't know what it's talking about.
So when they say brought to you by viewers like listeners like you,
That's like
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
brought to you by Greg
In
Chuck.
fact, they should mention me by name. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't.
Hear that, public radio?
Yeah. LAist.
There's a guitar player in downtown Burbank.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He's the Burbank Bard, officially dubbed.
He's awesome.
He is awesome.
Yeah, I love him.
Every day I feel okay because I always like slip in like a 20. Like every time I'm just like, you're doing God's work. Cause like he's there all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like from morning to night, he's just playing music for free. I'm just like, that's incredible. You know what I mean? Like to just be able to stand there every day, not 24/7, 7 days a week. Like
Yeah,
that's.
I like his sound a lot, especially when it comes to like old like Beatles stuff.
Yeah. Love that guy. If you're watching this, Burbank Party.
Okay, so as much as it pains me, I'd like to thank Scott Strichart for coming out and Kaiji Tang, two amazing individuals, and we are putting the Panda Express Bit to bed.
This is it.
This is it.
Never come up again.
Nope.
Yeah. If any of us ever mentions it again, then what should happen?
Guess we have to go to Panda Express.
Yeah,
Then we will come back and we will make another video. So
And hopefully those, the apple pie and egg rolls are
still be here. Maybe they'll offer ice cream with it. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Will my heart ever find its way back home? Will the tears that I saved for years take hold? These streets that once were paved in gold are letting memories go into the